Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Connect Cape Fear podcast. I am your host, Rob Rens with Signal Fire Media. I am joined today by the softer side of Blue Coast Realty. Remember, we have a special two-parter that we're doing for you. In an earlier episode, we talked to Brian Bursell. Today, we're talking to Tricia Bursell, who is spouse and partner to the business with Brian. Tricia, welcome to the pink couch on Princess.
I love it.
Yes, thank you. We got this for free.
And you're dressed to match.
And I guess I kind of am. To me,
it.
this looks red, but other people have told me it's more of a salmon. So whatever. Maybe I'm colorblind.
It's complementary with the couch, regardless.
Thank you. Well, we're complimented to have you here. That's a perfect professional segue. Brian told us a little bit about how you guys got here. Came from New England, moved down here for business and for real estate, longer summers, shorter winters. You want to fill any context into that on the decision to come to Wilmington and why this was the spot for y'all?
Yes. I don't want to be redundant, but did he share with you how we left college a week after graduating, filled our 2 vehicles up with all of our belongings, moved to Florida because we researched and learned the economy was better back in 1993.
We didn't get that story. Yeah, tell us that story.
That's pretty cool because I think it speaks about who we are as a couple and how we're willing to take risks. So we loaded up our cars, traveled literally to somewhere in Florida. We didn't even have a destination. All we had was back in 93, you would have like a bank book that showed how much you had in savings.
Yeah.
And he got $1,800 from his graduation gifts, and I had $700 for mine. We combined them, drove to Florida, and stopped at several places to say, will you allow us to rent here? We want to move here.
Yeah.
And the only way one person let us rent was because we had 3 months worth of savings. And so they said, sure, we'll take a risk.
Yeah.
I got a job teaching. He got a job in financial business.
Okay.
And we loved it, except we found that we were indoors for about 3 or 4 months of the year. And that's what we were trying to get away from up north.
Yeah.
So we said, let's go home. I have 4 siblings. He has a sibling. Have our babies. They'll be around cousins and grandpas and aunts and uncles. And then let's move somewhere halfway back.
Yeah.
So that was 30 years ago, more than 30, because we've been married going on 30.
Yeah.
And so we held to that. When our youngest was graduating from high school, we moved to North Carolina.
That's awesome. That is a good story. Right now, this summer, the last couple of weeks have felt a little Floridian. We've been a little high on moisture, a little high on temperature. It's been a little uncomfortable to be outside.
Yes.
I'm still going outside. I don't know if you are too. Okay.
Well, the difference also is that we can go outside after the sun sets and it's beautiful and bearable.
Yes.
Whereas up north, you have the 3 or 4 months where it doesn't matter whether it's the morning, noon, or night. You are not going outside.
Yeah, don't do your hair. Don't do your makeup. Just go out in whatever you're willing to get completely soakingly drenched wet.
Yes.
And that's what Florida is right now.
Yes, exactly.
I don't think we want to tell too many people, though, that it's more mild here, more temperate here, because then that means we'll just have more people moving here. Except
as a real estate agent, it is beneficial to let people know this so that they want to come down here.
I know. I walk the line on every one of these episodes to like, do we have enough? Do we need more? You know, like, of course, all of our businesses grow when we have more people that are coming here, more people that we can provide services to. The traffic is not bad.
Agreed.
To me, you know, people who've been here longer than me are like, oh, the traffic is terrible. I'm fine with it. I came from Atlanta when we moved here in 2019. So it's like everything was 45 minutes. Just get on the other side of the county. We don't have to deal with that so much here. But there is a balance to be had, right? We're on a peninsula. There's only so much room to grow here. I go down to South Florida and people in Fort Lauderdale and Miami are miserable because they have the ocean and the Everglades and 12 million people stacked on top of each other. What's the balance here? What's, in your opinion, having come from some of these places?
Yes. So I think there is a part of me, because it's human nature, you want to kind of keep what you have for yourself just as it is. But I don't want to be selfish.
Yeah.
Because I love it so much.
Yeah.
We have had people move here after visiting with us because they also loved it. So I kind of try to remain in the mindset of there's plenty for all.
Yeah.
You know, and that will work it out. And in love and generosity, we need to kind of make sure that we're not being selfish.
Totally. That's where I land on it. I'm a hypocrite because every time we have friends come up, every time we have family come up, I'm like, you guys should move here. And actually, you met my niece who I recruited up here to move from Atlanta at the North Brunswick Chamber of Commerce.
What a coincidence that was.
So it's a small town. Every day I'm reminded that even though it feels big and it is growing and we have progress happening all the time, it's still a very small community in a lot of ways.
Well, interesting that you say that, because one of the things that my husband and I quickly learned was we tried to do real estate here like we did up north. It did not work. And this place is all about connections, and it's all about building rapport and trust, and then, you know, referrals and getting to know businesses in that way. And also they're all about supporting small businesses, which I find is much different than up north. It seems to be much more large business oriented.
Yeah.
So I love that about here.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very special. So you're involved in the chamber. What else, like, you know, we like to talk about community, how you get involved here. What are you personally involved in? What is Blue Coast Realty involved in? You know, tell us a little bit about that.
So, gosh, where do I begin? I began first by getting involved in our church, this Life Point Church.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, great church here.
Yes. Yeah. And the thing that drew me in was the pastor, the first thing that I heard when I was church shopping was, okay, I'm going to let everybody know, no perfect people allowed here. So we're going to give you a few minutes. Anybody perfect needs to kind of see their way out.
Yeah.
And I thought, I found my place.
Yeah.
So I got involved with teen ministry. And that makes sense, right? Because I was a middle school teacher for 25 years alongside doing real estate with my husband. And then I got involved with just volunteering kind of, we have something called Love Thy Neighbor, where we go out into the community every second Saturday of the month. And we do everything and anything. I mean, I've been up on roofs cleaning out gutters, and I've been washing floors on my hands and knees. It's whatever, you know, is needed. I'm an usher at church, so I help out in that way. I'm a hospitality host. So I got involved initially that way. But then I started joining, like, there's a group called ICAG. It stands for I Know
a Guy, a Girl. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Fell in love with those people. So I will never stop going there because I just love those people. I belong to Fueled by Faith, which is a Christian group.
Okay.
I belong to a lot of special needs groups because as a school teacher, my passion, even though I began as a general educator, I'm one of the unique ones that went into special ed because my calling was such.
Okay.
So we do Night to Shine, where somebody with unique needs gets to experience the prom.
Nice.
So that's fun.
I see, like, Tim Tebow, he does, like his foundation does something similar to that. And I love seeing it on social media. My mom and sister both worked with special needs. They're both, my mom was a nurse. My sister was a nurse's assistant back then. And so I've always had a heart for it. My family's always had a heart for it. And I love seeing like the output, the product of that, because it's just so special for those people. Well,
and you hit it right on the head. You said that, like, as though you have like a heart for it. And it is a gift to be given that heart. I remember when I was in 10th grade, there was a student who had significant special needs, physically, cognitively. And he asked me to go, well, actually, the truth is he asked my sister, who was younger and much more beautiful than I, to go to the prom. And she said no. And when I found that out, I ran up to him and said, I'll go with you. I'll go with you.
Yeah.
So I did have it in my heart at a very young age.
Oh, that's great.
And that was kind of the impetus to kind of bring me down that path.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super special. So tell us a little bit about the business side of involvement. You do the chamber, you do ICAG. Actually, before I ask you that question, I've thought about a competitor to ICAG, which is IGAG. It doesn't sound good, because I always say, I got a guy. You know, like, mom's like, when we developed our property, there was farmhouse old 30s farmhouse that we redeveloped and moved my mom and dad in. And so she's always like, what are we gonna do about the landscaping? I'm like, I got a guy. But IGAG doesn't sound.
But you know what? It's kind of catchy.
It's a little catchy.
It is, and it sounds very northern.
It opens me up for ridicule,
yes.
I think, in a lot of ways. You could be like, I'm not going to IGAG. Yeah, I'm good.
That will stick. I love it.
Yeah. So the chamber, you're involved with the chamber.
Yes.
Brian mentioned BNI. Like, talk
Yes.
to me a little bit about these business networking groups.
And I could go on. I go to many more, but that's just, some of them. But with regard to our business, the way that, and again, you introduced me as the softer side.
Yeah.
So
I could feel it.
You could feel that.
Felt it when you both walked in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were very accurate.
Yeah.
So what I brought to real estate was every time we would go to list a home, the very people that needed to get the very most from their home, we would suggest things like, well, if you could just paint, you wouldn't believe the benefit of painting and the value that will bring you. Or if you could just replace this carpet. And I realized that we were asking the people that couldn't afford that if you want to get the most for your home, you need to do these things.
Yeah.
So what we do is we pay for these things for people.
Okay.
Yep. And we just do it right out of pocket. We don't charge any interest. There's no fees. We just say, listen, if and when you sell your home, if you could reimburse us for whatever it is that you paid because you ultimately got more for your house and we set you up for that, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And you win some and you lose some. Some
Sure.
people don't end up selling, and that's okay because we're helping them out regardless.
Yeah, my first mentor told me, and it kind of fits in line with this. When I entered into business, he was like, if you do the right things for the right reasons, it's impossible to get the wrong results no matter how hard you try. And so, like you said, sometimes it comes back to you. Sometimes you take a few on the chin. You might lose a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like, okay, I still have breath in my lungs. I can move forward and can. It's never so devastating that you can't recover for it unless it's a real big screw up. But it's all lessons learned, character building moments along the way.
It's the giver's gain mentality.
Yeah. I know giver's gain. That's BNI. That's very BNI, right?
Exactly. So that's the other thing. About now, it makes about 12 weeks ago, I was asked to be a substitute for BNI, and it just caught my attention because what I learned was they're a family that goes out and soldiers for one another. And they get to know each other at such a deep level and are able to refer with confidence. Yeah. So what I decided to do was create my own BNI group. It was super cool. So I did a lot of praying. I'm not sure if you can tell by my amens that I'm a prayerful woman. Yeah. And I prayed and prayed and prayed that God would bring the right people. And believe it or not, we grew to 21 people in about 9 weeks. Wow. So we've had, we launched 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And we have a group of 21. I know it sounds like I'm a mama bragging about her children, but I am telling you, we've had visitors that are longtime BNI members that said our group is so unique and so special. You can see that their eyes light up far more when they're able to give a referral and talk on your behalf than even when they get a referral. Yeah. So I now feel like I have my own tribe. Nice. And I'm just loving it.
That's great. Yeah, I've done tons and tons of networking, and you can see it. I can, at least, from the moment I walk in the room when you're in a self-serving environment versus when you're not. And I think that's where like the rubber meets the road on those. If you walk in and it's everybody just trying to sell their services to the people in the room, it's like, this isn't going to go very far. Versus like, hey, I would like a human connection and a relationship with somebody. And if they buy something from me, great. If they refer me to somebody else, that's even better. Or if we just leave as friends, that's okay too as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And it is palpable. You can feel that. And just like you said, it's been noted that is tangible for our group, for sure.
Good. Awesome. Yeah. Now, where's your BNI located? Are you guys still growing, or are you like,
we're
you got all your seats
growing.
full? Okay.
Yes. So we meet right off College Hill Road on Pine Valley Road, which is, I guess, just maybe 2 lights past Krispy Kreme donuts. Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows where Krispy Kreme is. Yeah. Hot and ready lights on right now. Go get you some.
Exactly. And it's at the Pine Valley Country Club. And we do it first thing in the morning, 8:30 to 10. And we all have a philosophy that because sometimes you can go to a BNI group and they're militant.
Yeah.
Sorry, other BNI groups. But ours, anybody who opted to join, it's family first and business second. And then BNI. So if you have to miss BNI meeting for those things, we completely support you. No judgment. So
sorry, got to keep our priorities straight.
Of course.
So what seats are you looking to fill? I mean, people watch this. I have people stop me in school and at church and like, hey, I saw your podcast episode. Are there any specific seats that you're looking to fill in your BNI right now?
Yes. We're having a hard time, which surprises me, getting an insurance person.
Like property and casualty?
No, for somebody that provides health insurance.
Oh, okay.
Like either supplemental we need.
Health insurance is a tough game. It's a real tough game. Yeah. I know some people, I could maybe pull some out and refer them to you. They might already be with other BNI groups. I found, I was in insurance prior to 2022, and health insurance is complex and it's a long sales cycle. And I don't think we have nearly as many people in that space professionally as we do property and casualty or life.
And it's the opposite
commercial.
up north.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah. So that's why I think I was surprised to experience that. One of the things that I personally do, so anybody in our group I have used and I firsthand, so even like I switched my cleaning lady because we now have a cleaner. So I wanted to have her clean my house and now she does me regularly so that I can make sure when I refer her, I can wholeheartedly say, she comes on time. She cleans thoroughly. I've done that with our bookkeeper. I've done that. So any insurance people, I will absolutely switch over. We're looking for property manager.
Okay.
So we own 4 properties. I would love to have them run by somebody, but I'm waiting for somebody to fill the seat so I can kind of hand that over to. So we're always looking to grow.
Love it. Well, there you heard it. If you're in health insurance or you're in property management, there's a great BNI group with 21 people that are ready to refer you. That sounds like a lot of fun and are obviously head up by a great human being. So,
well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, and collectively, our whole body they're great human beings. So, some people will say like, "Oh, Tricia, you created such a wonderful group." First, to God be the glory, because it came from Him through prayer, and second, collectively, we're an amazing body. So I always make sure that I correct people in that.
I love it. I love it. Trish, I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
Wish your husband nothing but the best. Hope you guys continue to grow and thrive in this community.
I appreciate
and bring other people along with you, not only through what you do professionally, but what you do personally too as well. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, they want to learn more about your BNI group, chamber, Blue Coast Realty, what's the best way to reach you?
So I would call our phone number. So my phone number is 910-442-6243.
Okay.
But on my car, there's a sign, and I put my husband's number on there because it's a little catchier. His is 910-777-5315.
Yeah, that looks like one that you might have paid for.
I think he did.
He did?
Yeah.
910-777-5355.
Oh, I love it. 5315.
5315. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, we could do that. You know, like the end of the personal injury attorneys. We do some work for some personal injury attorneys in town. You gotta get the voice down here, and then you got to repeat. The phone number like 18 times to end the ad. Yeah, just so it sticks with people.
Well, on that note, I came up with a little jingle.
I love a good jingle.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, then you're gonna love this.
Let me sit up.
My
for
husband
this.
gives me the eye rolling, but I absolutely love it. I say, when it comes to where you dwell, think of Trish and Brian Bursell.
That's that.
Right?
I worked in radio for a while, and when I had a client that was like, we want a really good hook, we want a good jingle, I would dedicate days to that. I have a couple that I can share with you, but that's a good jingle.
You like that? I do too.
Yeah. Josh, our business partner, is a music producer. We could throw a little sound bed underneath it, and you'd have something for TV and radio.
I love that.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Sure.
I'm so happy to have met you and your husband,
Same
and I hope
here.
that you out there at home also enjoyed this episode. Get in touch with Trish. Get in touch with Brian. Don't forget to subscribe to the Connect Cape Fear podcast on all the social media channels and get involved in this great community that we call home. Until next time, thank you for joining us here on the Connect Cape Fears podcast. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks.